So let's do the brainstorming exercise. The poem is Song of the Open Road. Pick out the lines showing that the poet is prepared to enjoy every moment of his journey. So let's find the lines here. So the ones which I have ticked. Okay. For example, afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Next one, healthy, free, the world before me. The long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. Henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. This is one of them. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. And here there is, strong and content I travel the open road. So these are few sentences, few lines which shows that the poet is prepared to enjoy every moment of his journey. Now, by old delicious burdens, the poet means not this, not the luggage or the food he carries or the stress he bears, but the sweet memories of the past. Old delicious burdens. Time spent with people. It's all about the relationships and the attachments, the sweet memories. He's saying that there are things which you cannot leave behind. You can't totally detach from things. It may be good memories, bad memories, whatever, but today they are all sweet. You have to just manage the whole journey and carry all these with you. They are wonderful. Old, it's like old delicious burdens, old wonderful burdens, sweet memories. Now, the poet is a person who is free from all inhibitions. So, discuss how the concept of freedom is expressed. So the freedom to choose what you want to do in life, so your destiny is in your hands, and you have to be confident first of all in yourself. So you can take a few lines from the poem and then explain. Now this question says there are activities. Following are the activities of the poet related to his journey on the road. Divide them into two parts. Activities the poet will practice and activities that he will not practice. So walking along the road, though he does not know where it reaches, is something which he is going to do. Yes. Complaining about the discomforts during the journey? No. This is something which he will not practice. Postponing the journey, he will not practice. Praying for good fortune, he will not practice. Carrying the fond memories of the good people, yes. This activity he will practice. Creating contacts with the famous and influential people, no. An activity which the poet will not practice. Striving to achieve high and bright success, yes. He will definitely practice that. Reflecting and developing his own self, building your self-confidence, your self-esteem. So that definitely is an activity which all of you should practice. Then comes, write down the traits the poet exhibits through following lines. One is done for you. Henceforth means hereafter, I ask for no good fortune, I myself am good fortune. So this line tells you about his self-confidence. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Again he is being very positive, self-reliant. He doesn't want to depend on anybody. So again you can even write self-confidence here also. It means the same thing. I do not want the constellations any nearer. So he is an independent person. He doesn't depend on anybody. He doesn't need any influential people or famous people to take him, to a higher level. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. So this shows how sure he is about himself, how clearly he thinks. His thoughts are very clear. There's no confusion at all. I am filled with them and I will fill them in return. So he's quite aware and very honest in his activities, in his dealings with people. The poet has used many describing words such as healthy in this poem. Healthy, free, the world before me. For the world, he says he is very sufficient. Okay, that's indirectly saying that I am healthy enough to do my things. I don't need anybody. The world is sufficient for him. That earth, whatever opportunities are there, that is enough for him, basically. For himself, he says that he is quite healthy, he is free. He is himself good fortune, he is quite strong, he is satisfied, he is content, light-hearted, means without any burdens. And about the road, he says it's an open, long, brown path. Yeah. So like describing words, basically all these come under describing words only. Sufficient, light-hearted, healthy, free, strong, good, content, contented. Basically content becomes a noun form. Okay. Read the expression old delicious burdens. A burden cannot be delicious. Delicious is extremely tasty. You use the word delicious for food. The poet has used this combination of words to express that he has many sweet memories of the people and places which he would like to remember forever. The poet has used seemingly contradictory expressions to convey the meaning that his heart is full of sweet memories of good and kind people. Though he wants to be free from any type of attachment, he wants to cherish these sweet memories in his heart forever. When you are attached to things, attached to people, it's very difficult to do something, so sometimes you have to learn to detach yourself. For example, when children have to go to hostel and stay for higher education, for jobs, you have to leave your home. If the parents keep on holding you back, then maybe you cannot do anything. At the same time, if you feel, how can I leave my parents and go alone, how can I stay, how will I manage, so all these are called the attachments. In life, you have to learn to be sometimes free from these attachments if you want to do something. You have to learn to detach also yourself. For that matter, even friends, when you go to, from 10th, when you go to college, your friends all will take up different streams, go to different colleges. And just because one friend goes to one college, you can't say that, no, I can't live without him. So that strong attachment is there. But that time, you have no choice. And when you detach yourself from these people, for some time you feel bad. But then you get used to the new routine. So the expression contains opposite ideas that make it seem absurd and unlikely, although it may be true. So this is called paradox. So paradox is somewhere you can't eat the cake and have it too, correct? You want to see the cake in front of you, but at the same time you will eat it, means it's over. So it's like there is this proverb which says you can't eat the cake and have it too. So it's that way. That's a paradox. The road in the poem does not mean only the road to travel. The poet wants to suggest the road of life. Explain the metaphor with the help of the poem. So in life also, like when you step out of your house to go on a journey, there are lots of plans we do, So there are some comparative words I have written here which applies to both, whether you are traveling or if it is the road of life. Then travel plans, we make lot of plans. Then the mode of travel, how are we supposed to go about it? The destination extremely important, like a goal. When you step out, there should be a goal. Okay, this is where I have to reach. If you don't have a goal, or if you don't know where you're going, you'll be just wasting your time moving around. So destination, in both cases, a very positive attitude. If you start your journey thinking that, oh God, something will happen on the way, I will not reach, then things won't happen. For example, in this COVID, most of the people have left Mumbai and gone, whichever mode of travel they could get. Okay, so sometimes it's like they were not very sure. They know they will reach their home, but it may take days, it may take many days, or many hours, but still they have taken the decision. Okay, and with a very positive attitude, like that they will reach their destination safely. So this attitude is extremely important in every activity, whatever you do. A flexible mindset required to move ahead. A flexible mindset is okay. The same earlier case, if I take a flexible mindset, also means not very hard and rigid that I have to use this route only. No, there may be some distractions on your way. Sometimes there are diversions. I want to reach a place, but there's a diversion ahead. They'll say don't take this road, you have to take that road. So fine, at that time you can't say no, I am going to take this route only. You have to be flexible. There will be pleasant as well as unpleasant situations. Not that life is not a bed of roses. No, it's not that always you're going to get everything nice things. Okay, you will encounter many negative things also, unexpected situations in life. Of course, this lockdown is a very unexpected situation. So this is where a positive attitude, taking care of yourself, so this is a perfect example today. A very tough time for all of us. So self-belief is important. A very positive attitude and believe in yourself. Fine. Free verse. Free verse is a poetry that does not rhyme or have a regular rhythm. The features of free verse are: it is a literary device that is free from limitations of regular meter or rhythm. Does not rhyme with fixed forms. Here this meter is not the length wala meter. It is, they call it like the number of syllables in a line in a poem. It's mentioned ahead a little about the meter part. A structure. Meter here means structure. So it is a literary device that is free from limitations of regular meter or rhythm, does not rhyme with fixed forms, and still it provides an artistic expression. In this way, the poet can give his own shape to a poem as he desires, and can use various poetic devices to create the effect he considers suitable for the piece. So you can just write one long sentence, break it up into 4 parts, it becomes a poem, without any rhyme. No rhyming required. As free verse gives greater freedom for choosing words and conveying their meanings to readers, it is free from artificiality of a typical poetic expression. This technique is commonly used in modern poetry. So modern poetry will not have that typical rhyming, how we used to have. There are so many poems, the rhyme schemes, how it comes. Even if you say a simple poem like Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, then water comes, so Jack and Jill, the Jill rhymes with hill, water rhymes with after, and Jill came tumbling after. So those were the typical way of writing earlier. But today when you see the modern poetry, there won't be so much of rhyming, mostly it will be free verse. Okay. Now remember, although free verse requires no meter means structure here, rhyme or other traditional poetic techniques, it is a use of internal pattern of sounds. The choice of exact words and their chosen places are the factors which attribute the free verse its lyrical or rhythmic beauty. There will be some rhythm in it. As you read, it's very poetic. It's not like reading a lesson, a chapter. Okay. Free verse is completely different from blank verse, which essentially has to occur in iambic pentameter. So what is an iambic penta? Penta means 5, correct? So a blank verse is something where you have roughly 5, it's a line with the 5 metrical feet. That's why the pentameter. Now pentameter, like for example, see, there's something like this. When you read, you will have this swar, that o, a, I, u, a, I, o, au, ha. For example, 2, so u came there. House, 2 households, both alike in dignity. This is a line from a poem, okay? Now, 2, that u came there. Households. There are 3 vowel sounds there. Okay, both, one vowel sound here. See, alike. So you have to count all the vowel sounds. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alike, I sound is coming here. So actually it means 5 metrical. So it will be double. Pentameter means you can go into the net and check more if you are really interested to know what is iambic pentameter. So blank verse is poetry written with regular metrical but unrhymed lines. It is described as the most common form of English poetry which has been influential since the 16th century. Fine. There are certain words that are repeated in the poem. For example, no more. Find out other similar expressions and explain the effect. Just to give the emphasis mainly. The use of personal pronoun I is evident and prominent. It's about the poet is so confident of himself, he is ready to take steps without any support, without any help from anybody. So write a poetic appreciation of the poem. Which tells about the poem, the poet, title, the theme, the poetic style, the language, the poetic devices, special features, message. I think nowadays special features and all are not required. Basically the message is important and the your opinion about the poem. Write 4 to 6 lines of a free verse on the topic, the road that leads to my college. You can try this as homework. You can start like this. Every day I tread with a bag of books, and continue and make a small 4 to 6 lines poem. Write a blog on the following topic. A. Man is free by birth. So when you're born, you're free, but slowly what happens? Restrictions are put on you. Don't do this, don't do that, don't talk more, talk less. So later adults will impose rules and regulations, restrictions, and control them. So you can write a little blog on it. Expand the idea suggested in the following lines. All roads lead to Rome. That means every matter can be approached differently. So there are many ways to do things. Like for example, we all have 24 hours, but there are some people who are successful and some people are not. So all roads lead to Rome only, but it depends on how you use your time and how you use the right path. So that is important. So every matter can be approached differently and different people think differently, right? Because see, if you compare also people, we all do the same things, but the way you do it, that is more important. Even study pattern, the way you study. If 2 children are studying the same things and one gets 18 on 20 and both are equally good, and one gets a 16 or 15 or maybe 14 on 20. So maybe it's not that the one who got 14, 15 is less intelligent, but maybe the method of learning and retaining and writing in the paper is different. Understand? So that means if you change a method, definitely you will achieve it. A man without liberty is a body without a soul. That means without freedom, it's so difficult to survive. Freedom and liberty, the freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So freedom or liberty to think, speak and act is very, very important. We can be very assertive and tell your thoughts. Okay. Now, take help from the sources available on the net and make a list of proverbs and quotations about a road. These two you all can just try it and say, it's good. Read the poem The Road Not Taken. It's a poem by Robert Frost. It's like you come to a certain place and then you see there are two roads. Okay. Now I have a choice to take this road or this road. So it is about a road in the woods. It's a total forest area. And the poet now is confused that should I take this road or this road. Now supposing he takes a particular road, because there's one road which is trodden paths where people walk and then leave a trail down there on the ground. You can see the crushed leaves and etc. And there's one which is totally green leaves or dried leaves, but nobody has walked on that way. So if you're ready to take risks, you will take that road, because you don't know, maybe both the roads will take you somewhere, you're not sure about it. So supposing he takes a particular road, thinking that he'll take the other road later. Whenever he comes, he will try the other road next time. Now what happens? After walking and he has reached somewhere, very rarely you can go back to that point. So a time comes when either you are happy for having taken that road, or you are sad and you repent. Why did I take this road? I should have taken the other road. So it's a very interesting poem. Please. So decisions taken, take it wisely. Talk to people who have experience, so that you don't repent later. Okay. I would suggest that you should really read this poem and the summary. It's a wonderful poem. Thank you.